Genshin Impact has a lot of characters we don't know a lot about. In fact, I've done some videos in regards to those characters that haven't really been mentioned yet. However, there's a character today that has been off my radar as of late, but recently came to my mind again as I was doing some research on the Four Winds. The character in question is Varka, aka the Knight of Boreas, and the current Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. Today, we will cover more about him, his reputation, his character, and where he possibly went. But first... Before we begin though, if you enjoy Teyvat's Facts and Wisdom, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. After the video is over, join us over in our community Discord server, where we talk all about Genshin, including lore. Okay, with that said, let's open the Teyvattionary and see what's been uncovered. Also, before I start this video, I want to give a huge shout out to the artist Altest. They did an incredible job at designing this Varka, so I will go ahead and leave their portfolio down in the description below. Thanks again for the amazing art. First and foremost, let's get into who Varka is. Varka is the current Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. He left on an expedition 6 months before the Traveler first arrived in Mondstadt with the city's elite forces. With him temporarily leaving his post as Grand Master, he left Jean as the acting Grand Master while he is away. Due to Varka being the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, we know that he already has a very big reputation even outside of Mondstadt. I would even say, outside of the Archons and obviously the world deities like the Four Shades, Fanis, etc., he is probably one of the most powerful mortals in all of Teyvat. I get heavy Guildarts vibes. We know he's strong due to what characters say about him. In fact, Child refers to him as the Titan of the Knights of Favonius. Child is a complete adrenaline nut, and we know this dude loves to fight just for the sport. So if he's taken Child's interest, he must be nothing but legendary to say the least. Eula mentions in her voice lines that they actually sparred once and they apparently had a draw. However, Eula also states that he was clearly holding back. The rest of the character's dialogue all claim that he is a relatively relaxed individual, and the people of Mondstadt really respect him. From what we know about Razor, Varka actually taught him how to use a claymore, so he's already a very proficient teacher. Even gave Razor his name, in fact. Oh, and Diluc acknowledges and doesn't really want to get into much detail about it with how cynical he is. Varka must truly be something. What's really interesting though is the fact that he went on an expedition with the elite forces of Mondstadt, including Jean and Barb's father, Seamus Pegg. We literally don't know squat about him other than he's the seneschal of the Mondstadt church. That's pretty much all the visible information we know about him just from what the game mentions. There are a few more instances of this, but I want to dedicate those aspects to a later point in the video. However, there's something I want to point out actually. Well, two things, but we can get into that second part later. There are 4 winds of Mondstadt that the Anima Archon Beidou appointed while he was asleep to keep things in check. Obviously, the Dragon of the East is Dvalin. The Wolf of the North is Andreas, or this title could also be shared with Varka due to his title of the Knight of Boreas. The Falcon of the West is Vanessa and the Knights of Favonius as a whole, and lastly is the Lion of the South, which the wiki claims to be Jean, considering her title of the Lion Fang Knight or Lion Tooth Knight, depending on which title you want to look at. I disagree with this though currently, as Jean is only the acting Grandmaster. If we take a look at Jean's constellation, it's Leo Minor, meaning Lesser Lion. In Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and Vietnamese, this translates to Lion Cub. Lion Cub? It's almost like there's a grown lion out there, and Jean is just filling in as the Lion Cub of the South. The Lion Cub is the next in line to take over the title of Lion of the South. The Lion of the South is the title that the Grand Master attains, meaning that Varka's constellation, I suspect, is Leo Major. Due to circumstances though, Jean being the lion cub was the next best candidate to take over as a temporary replacement. But this also means that Jean was eventually going to attain the status of actual Grandmaster whenever Varka plans to retire or kicks the bucket. Jean already took over the practical roles of the Grandmaster, while Varka could go on expeditions. So Jean was a Grandmaster in training, if you will. So from this knowledge, we know there is a very high chance that Varka is the current holder of the Lion of the South, meaning the Grand Master has been passing on this title for generations. Outside of this title though, there's another super interesting tidbit I found, and that's the information from the Wolf's Greystone. Varka, or the Knight of Boreas, used the Wolf's Greystone alongside the Wolf of the North once upon a time. Towards the end of the Archon War, Andreas chose to let his physical body die out, and the Wolf Knight, or Knight of Boreas, buried him with the Wolf's Greystone as a gravestone. In other languages, the literal meaning of the Wolf's Greystone translates to the end of the wolf, Wolf's tombstone, death of the wolf, Wolf's grave, and tomb of the wolf. Wolf's grave being the German one. With this information in hand, I have to question who Varka really is, and how old is he? Varka could be the equivalent of an Adeptus for Mondstadt. Not to mention he trained Razor. Maybe this was his way of training the next Wolf Knight. This is just merely speculation though, and I could be totally wrong about that. But the fact that the Knight of Boreas and Andreas fought alongside each other really is something that I feel a lot of people have missed about Varka's character. And this sheds some new light onto who he actually could be. Also, is the Knight of Boreas referred to in the Wolf's Greystone Varka? Or do we have a situation where the title is passed down and Varka is the new Knight of Boreas, and the one referred to in the Greystone is a previous Knight of Boreas from a long time ago? Let me know down below. This really interests me. Well, that wraps up my little discussion about Varka, aka the Knight of Boreas. This character has the potential to be one of the most powerful contenders Genshin has to offer, due to his reputation and the fact he could be some sort of Adeptus-like creature. Not saying he is an Adeptus, but could possibly be an equivalent to one. As far as where he went, I have no idea. Could be Sumeru, Dandelion Sea, Mare Javari, who knows? Anywho though, let me know your thoughts down below on Varka. I really want to know more about him. You guys are smart, and in some cases even smarter than me, so I know I will be interested in what you have to say. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close the Tevotchnary. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the future for more Genshin Impact content and lore. Also, before I end off this video, you guys should let me know down below what kinds of content you want me to discuss next. There's a lot of topics out there that I haven't exactly covered yet. So if you've made it to this point in the video, comment down below what you want to see me tackle sometime in the future.